Thank you so much, Dr. Ashwini, for joining us on a podcast with Dodal. Really appreciate
Thank
you
you
taking out
for
time.
giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But before we start and jump on into your experience in healthcare domain, we'll first of all like to understand and give a context to our audience. If you could take us to your journey so far.
Yeah, right. So my journey has been, mix of all healthcare industries put together. So, of course, everyone from 10th standard itself, I wanted to be a doctor, and I went in that pathway. I did my residency. So I have done my graduation from Russia. And post that, I did my residency in Safdarjung Hospital and RML Hospital. But somewhere along the way, I actually met with so many people, and if you look at the career pathway for doctors, it's a very straight line. You do your residency, you do your PG, and it takes a lot of time to become a consultant, to actually have a name for yourself and get well established in the industry. So I thought that, I always had high ambition that by the age I'm 30 or by 35, I wanted to be a medical director or in some senior management position. And looking at the normal pathway, career pathway that we have, I thought, that is not possible. But also, I wanted to keep the medical part of me, the medical side of me, throughout whatever I'm doing. So that's why when I decided, my first switch was with Fresenius Medical Care. It's a German MNC and it dealt with kidney care. So I joined, that was my first corporate, and I learned a lot about medical devices, the compliances, the regulatory framework, and also how a corporate works. Because for a doctor, we go to a hospital, it's very normal, so how a corporate works, what else you need to learn except for just, clinical knowledge. You need to know how operations work, what is the business management part of it. So it was very interesting because I met with many experienced doctors. I learned more about kidney therapy and also the corporate side of it. So that's when I decided, that maybe this is a pathway worth exploring. So I worked there for around, and the reason actually behind joining Fresenius is also something very interesting. So my mom was a kidney patient and she was in the last stages. So there's this one new therapy called as CRRT and HDF, and that machine no one had in India except for Fresenius. And I wanted to put my mom on treatment in that particular machine. And that center they had only in 2, 3 places. Coincidentally, they had a position for regional medical officer. I joined, I learned more about the therapy, and I can actually say that it helped my mom a lot, although she is no more. It did, help in how to say, helping in bettering her prognosis. It did improve her. So I think that was sort of a very good learning experience for me, because people think that in corporate, it's all excellent. But no, I learned about new therapies, new machines, how that would help patients. We used to go to different medical colleges, meet with doctors, experienced doctors. So the medical part of it was also like I, learned about. So that's why I was like, okay, now the medical devices part is done. So along with devices, the pharma sector is also something. So post that, I got an opportunity to work. After Fresenius, actually there was COVID, the first COVID wave, which, as we all know, it was very serious. And that time, because of that, I left Fresenius and I went back into the practice, because everyone was calling that, we need doctors, the situation is dire. So just for that reason, I had went again back to practice to help with the COVID patients. We worked tirelessly in day and night. I used to do 48 hours, 96 hours shift, because the situation was as such. And it was like just after my mom passed away during that time, only in March, but I did not even take a break. I just came back, went back to the hospital. So once the COVID settled down a bit, I got an opportunity with Mankind Pharma as a medical advisor. So I was like, okay, I have dealt with the medical devices. Now let me see, what I can learn about the pharma sector. So that's when I joined Mankind Pharma as a medical advisor. So I got to learn about the very main thing, which is the regulatory frameworks. What are the different kind of regulatory frameworks that we have in India to bring new molecule in the market, to have, move about advantage and all that. So what are the different types of molecules? What are the process that goes behind bringing a product into the market? And how do you sell it to the patient, to the doctors? Because for us, doctors are the connecting point. So again, the clinical part of it was alive, because I used to go and meet doctor, take their opinions. that what new molecule can we bring into the market, or how do we, improve the current existing molecule, like make two, three molecules together to bring out more efficiency or improve the product. So this was all a medical marketing part of it, and we also used to get the see that what happens is, moreover, always the new products come in the international market, and it takes a lot of time for us to get in the Indian market. Of course, the compliance part of it is a little bit strict, so that's why it takes time. But it doesn't mean that we cannot do it over here also. So in India, we had actually started a process of bringing a new molecule. I cannot name it, but we started the process. So that's how I learned that this is also very good thing, because as being in a pharma industry, you get to help patients, bringing in the molecule that actually helps the patient and all. So I worked there, and post that, then I actually worked on my own startup. So after all this, so I thought, like you said, I think one of the questions also was that I was like, okay, there are many pain points in the market for the patients, for the hospitals, and for the doctors, and no one is actually focusing on it. Everyone is bringing like separate products. Someone is saying that EHR is the new revolution. Someone is saying that HIMS is a new revolution, but no one was bringing a put together product kind of a ecosystem that could help each and everyone. So that was my startup about. It was by the name of Aviza Smart Hospital. We actually wanted to bring smart hospitals into India, wherein the patient journey is smooth, operational efficiency of the hospital is good, so that the revenue also growth is also there. Doctor's point of view, adaptation to the technology, because I think that is something still lacking in the healthcare fraternity, especially from the doctor's point of view. So that was what the entire product was about. But of course, due to funding issues, we could not sustain it for much longer, and the product got shifted into Dubai market. But I did not want it to shift to Dubai, so my co-founder took the product there, and it's working very well over there. And I decided to exit. And right now, I'm working as a medical director with MSWAS. So MSWAS actually deals with teleconsultation, but it's an hybrid model. So we have proper clinics across India, around 2,800 clinics across all states of India. So there's not one state where we are not present. And it's only in the rural areas. So the intention was to bring assets accessible and affordable healthcare. So I think this concept actually, contradicts the fact that post COVID, the teleconsultation wouldn't work, but we are doing around 8 to 10,000 consultation on a daily basis. So not just MSWAS, I think there are many other platforms also who are doing a similar thing, such as CureBay, etc. And it's actually helping a lot, because when you have a hybrid approach, the patient goes to the clinic, the doctor is going online, but there is someone in the clinic. We keep a nurse, registered nurse, who takes the vitals and everything. And it's helping a lot of patients combating both acute and chronic disease. So I think so that's been my journey so far.
It's a very prolific journey, ma'am. You have basically touched upon the entire life cycle of healthcare.
Yeah. But my final passion I found out is in health tech. So I think this is the way forward that I'm going to explore more on.
Yes. Ma'am, first of all, we'll start with the pharma thing. Is that you talked about the various processes that are involved in bringing a medicine to the market. Can you tell the audience what are the different processes like, and what are the various compliance and regulatory things which are involved?
Right. So in India, there are 3, 4 main compliances that we need to work with. First is the SEDESCO, which is the Central Drug Authority.
Yeah.
Then comes the DGCI, and there are some state drug authorities as well. So these three are the main, compliance authorities that we need to work with, or kind of a regulatory framework that we need to get on with. And if we talk about international market, of course, there's FDA, then there is GMR, and there's something called as European Union compliances part also. That is something you need to work on if you're planning on exporting any medicine. Or else the Indian market primarily caters within these 3, 4 organizations. But the biggest challenges that is there is, although the regulations are good, but they keep on evolving. So for
Right.
a big pharma player, it's good, because they have a separate quality unit, they have their research unit, they have a compliance team, they have a quality team in place. But for a smaller players, it becomes very difficult for them to sustain for a longer run, because the compliances, they keep on changing. and it's evolving. So for them to adapt into it, just to give an example,
Yes.
any product to come into a market, a clinical trial takes, somewhere from 3 to 5 years. That's a very long duration, right? And there's a lot of processes that goes into it. A clinical trial is of like 4 or 5 phases. There has to be subjects that has to be enrolled, there has to be compliances that has to be taken, ethical approval that has to be taken with from the DGCI, from the compliance authorities that are in place. So all this process takes a very long time. But
Yes.
yes, what we can do here is, parallelly working. So you should not start from the start. For example, if I'm bringing a new molecule, I
Yeah.
should already have a plan in place. Along with bringing the molecule, parallelly, I can do the compliances process also, whatever is necessary, or put in a team. And also now with technology, there are many pharmacovigilance automation software are there, or AI-based software which are there, which can track your, compliance part of it. That also helps, and that will help in reducing the cost as well. So I think there is a very delicate balance in this. For a big player, of course, it's easier to deal because
Mm.
they have systems in place, but for a smaller players, especially for those who have the generic products. For
Yes.
them, this is a hassle, but yes, proper planning. And as I said, parallel planning that
Yes.
can help them a lot better.
Absolutely, ma'am. And are there technologies in clinical trial space as well? Like,
It was not there, if I would say, maybe 5 years ago. But recently, yes, there have been AI tools which actually, detects the patient. So, for example, in trials, what happens is you give a product to a patient and you see how that works, right? So, the risk analysis, the patient exposure part of it, how the patient is reacting to it, all that can be captured in an AI tool rather than doing it manually. But still, even though, yeah, adaptation is an issue, but the results are also not that accurate. So the
yes.
accuracy is between 80 to 85%, and we cannot have that, while you're dealing with the products. I think once we have a good accuracy percentage, because any AI tool in the market has accuracy percentage of 80 to 85%. You go with ChatGPT with anything. And
Yes.
especially if you talk about healthcare, accuracy plays a very important role in patients' data analysis, risk analysis. So they have started using it, but still there's a long way to go into it, because the data sets that are used, especially in India, is very, they are not large data sets. In international markets, you get open data sets which are there in the websites which can be used to do the analysis. But in
Yes.
India, we don't have that. And unless that is not there, NML cannot work, because
Yes.
cannot, do the algorithms in the data set. So I think that's one of the bigger challenge that we have. But from the compliance part of the tool, we have a compliance tool and a pharmacovigilance tool, which is being used by many companies in the Indian market already in the pharma sector as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
And ma'am, you also talked about kidney care, the
Yeah.
dialysis, and all those things. Would you like to touch upon a few new technology interventions that's coming in this space?
So first of all, kidney care, in India, the incidence of CKD is rising very, drastically. And one very, sad thing I would say is that it is not detected until it goes to the last stage, because there is no symptoms as such that you can see in a kidney patient. Only when it reaches your fourth or fifth stage. So there are 5 stages of kidney disease, right? Until you reach your fourth or fifth stage, you will not know that you have kidney disease. Or if you're even doing your 6 months blood test or 1 year
Yes.
test, it will not be visible in that also. And from the patient perspective, what happens is, even if they reach at fourth or fifth stage and the doctor tells you that you need to go, first is cost, because dialysis has to be done maximum 2 to 3 times per week, and per session cost. If I talk about, we do have government schemes such as Ayushman Bharat and all, which does in 800 to 900. In Tamil Nadu, you have Amma scheme. So there are different schemes, but still the, pricing is 900 minimum for that. And if you go to a private hospital, it varies somewhere from 2,500 to 3,500. And
Yes.
that's per session. So the cost factor of it is the biggest hassle for many of the patient. And second is going to hospital for 4 hours every week for
Yes.
3 to 4 times, that itself puts a patient in a bad mental state, because they think that there's something wrong with them. They have to And there are many complications that comes with dialysis. People think, oh, it's very easy. You go do your dialysis and come. There are post complications of dialysis as well. And if you have to go with transplants, completely another story. Cost is involved. You need to get a proper match and all that. Of course, and there were many less centers. So if I would talk about maybe even when I started with Fresenius, there were no nearby, even for my mom, like speaking from my personal experience, to find a proper dialysis center was almost, and I live in Pondicherry,
Yes.
right? My mom used to live in Pondicherry. It was almost like 40-50 minutes away to travel and come back. So the dialysis centers across India were very less, and especially Indian centers were not there. That time, if I would talk about 7-8 years ago, there was Fresenius and Davita. Both of them were international brands. Then now DCDC and many Indian brands have come into the market, especially in the last 5 years. But before that, there were only international brands. So the cost factor was there, the affordability, accessibility to travel, and main is the marketing part of it, because international brands were there, the normal people would not
Yes.
have a knowledge of that. So I think it was the biggest challenge. But now, yes, there are many centers which are coming, and the cost was also have been drastically reduced, because products that use in dialysis, that also used to be exported, but now we have Indian companies such as Nephroplus, which has
Yes.
grown like anything and have gone into international market also.
Yes.
They have set up in Kyrgyzstan, etc. So
True.
such markets coming into India has been a blessing for all of the patients, because the parts of the dialysis, the machines are being cheaper, so that automatically reduces your overall cost also, and the patient outcome is also good. Now, talking about different therapies, like I told you, dialysis is what you call as hemodialysis. This is something we all know, but there is something called as hemodiafiltration. So that's called as HDF. Now that works in a similar way to dialysis. So what happens in dialysis is basically the smaller molecules, that is your toxins, gets removed. But you have your larger and mid-sized molecules also if in the blood that needs to be exported, because your kidney doesn't work, right? So dialysis is basically cleaning out your toxins and blood. So if those bigger molecules stay in your blood, it goes to different parts of your body, gets lodged in it, and you have different symptoms that comes, right? So that is why HDF works in such a way that it also clears out the medium size and the larger size molecules, and it
Yes.
flushes out the toxins, and that actually improves your prognosis, and the patient is, so we have had patient who have had stopped taking any other medicine and just was an HDF. That was Ispervic, and I have personal experience with my mom. So my mom couldn't even get up from the bed after dialysis, but with HDF she was able to walk through daily chores and everything.
Yes.
Of course, she had a lot of other complications, and COVID came, so because of, that. But I would say so. HDF is something which is very unexplored area. It has come recently into the market, but yeah, it is costly. So one session is about 4,000 to 5,000, and that is something, is a pinch for the people. So I think that is one of the areas that we need to work on, because again, the products used for this comes. The main product is there's one bag that we need to put into it. It consists of certain chemicals that is being exported. But now I think Nephroplus is already working on it. But yes, the cost factor is still a pinch, and if that works out, it is really a great therapy to work. And the last is CRRT. That's for the chronic patients, not just for the kidney, but any kind of patients who are in the life-threatening stages and sepsis or. So that is a 48 hours therapy, and the cost for one session is somewhere from 30 to 40,000. So again, the cost factor for both of this therapy is our main challenge. But if that is something we can work on, the prognosis is really good for both of these therapies.
This is helpful, ma'am. And if you see the medical devices market,
Hmm.
now I think government has banned selling of reselling of medical
Yeah,
devices.
recently.
This ban is there, and I think it's good and bad in some ways.
I think it's good only, not bad, because once the product has gone past its expiration date, there are chemicals leaking from it, there are radiations leaking from it. So I think it's good in one of the way that has been done. Everything has expiration date, so I
Yeah.
think that's good.
Right, because I know a friend of mine, who was running this marketplace, and in
I
one
know
day it's that.
there's a big market for MRI and CT machine.
Yes.
Like if it's spoiled, you take a part of it and you resell it. So
Yes.
in India जुगाड़ तो होता रहता है, as you say. So
हाँ।
that's a market. But
और
then
इंडिया में मैम the problem is that human life has to be respected. What I've seen is that
exactly. See, if you're taking a CT machine, it's past its expiry date. There are radiations leaking from it. You're taking a part of it and you're putting it another machine and you're reselling it.
yes,
The patient is getting harmed more than getting saved. But of course, there's a cost factor to it, and everything at the end is about the profit and revenue and all that. So
yes,
that works for some hospitals.
absolutely. I was talking to one doctor yesterday, and he was telling me that healthcare was always healthcare. Now we
Mhm.
have started calling it healthcare industry, and from there only the problem has started coming.
See, recently what has happened, if you have seen, there are so many acquisitions happening and all are foreign funds, FDA,
Yeah.
FFI. Sayadri Hospitals has been getting acquired. Some, I think Apollo was acquired by a Malaysian backed, this, some, I think every other hospital is getting acquired by foreign funds. Now they require revenue, obviously, the cost.
Yeah.
So yesterday only, I think in Instagram or LinkedIn, Indians have a very good habit, of commenting and
Yes.
contradicting each and everything. So someone talked about
Yes.
a rising cost in the healthcare. For
Ah,
example, because I just recently had my baby, so if I would talk about a normal pregnancy labor charges, that was around 50 to 40 to 50,000. Now it has gone to 1,50,000 plus in private hospital, and even if you go
yes.
to a nursing home, it's 40 to 50,000.
Hmm.
But now that everyone wants, that they go to a private hospital because there are complications, everything, के
Hmm.
pocket से 1.5 lakh तो जाना ही जाना है, which was
Right.
very less.
And it's
Now
not even covered in insurance, ma'am. That's
yeah, that's another story altogether. That's another story altogether. Because they have to make a revenue because they are getting foreign investment. तो चाहिए. So how they do this by taking the money. Someone was comparing, for example, a cath surgery, cath lab, that the cost in India has risen. Before it
hmm.
was 2 lakhs, now it's 4 lakhs. So they were like, in US it's $50,000. बट वहाँ पे मिनिमम वेज भी ज्यादा है, यहाँ
Yes.
पे आप लोगों का ये भी तो देखो. यू कैन नॉट
Yes.
कंपेयर. यस, द हेल्थ केयर इज रियली गुड, वी हैव एक्सेस टू डॉक्टर्स, द हॉस्पिटल, बट द cost has been increasing tremendously, and for the middle class
Yes.
people it will become very hard. Not everyone can afford insurance, and with insurance also they have lot of ways to either not
Yes.
give you a complete this, or they have a very good way of declining it. So
Yes.
this is also becoming one of a very this, but and for all again, if a regulatory framework is there to define the prices, but yes, that is something I think is a challenging thing and evolving thing. So
Yes.
yeah,
That is why I was thinking, ma'am, like let's suppose somebody from a middle class low background who may be earning say 25, 30K a month. ये बंदा तो बच्चा पैदा करने का सोचेगा ही नहीं because he will think that यार
honestly, so what happened was, my hospital का नाम नहीं लूंगी. I was showing to this one particular doctor, right? And सारा कुछ हो गया था, and at the end, she gave me one complication that was not there at all.
Hmm.
बिकॉज दैट वुड बी मीनिंग कि एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज अब मैं तो खुद ही डॉक्टर हूँ, तो मेरे को पता
Hmm.
चल गया. आई
Hmm.
शिफ्टेड माई हॉस्पिटल एट द लास्ट मोमेंट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. मैंने
Yes.
बोला यार, आप डॉक्टर को ही उल्लू बना रहे हो, हमें ही आप एक्स्ट्रा चार्जेस करने के लिए आप ये सब बता रहे हो, तो नॉर्मल पब्लिक के लिए तो आप क्या ही
Yes.
बोलोगे. बहुत ज्यादा, इफ यू हैव इंश्योरेंस गुड, नहीं टेकिंग एंड इन गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल, तो इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर एवरीवन टू गो. क्रिटिकल दैट वी फोकस ऑन इट, एंड ब्रिंग सम
Yes.
positive changes.
Yes. I hope a lot of good startups will get funded, and will work in this space because I get quite disheartened when I see that real problems in India are not being solved. Like,
Exactly. Again, when we come up with real problems and real solutions, investors पैसे नहीं लगा.
exactly. This is what I'm telling them because they don't have a long-term vision. That is what I felt. And this is where our
Exactly.
sector is very
सबको ये
different from
रहता है
you.
कि अभी तो सॉल्व नहीं,
कोई
रियल
अच्छी
प्रॉब्लम
problem
में
जल्दी
टाइम
solve नहीं हो सकता. Like, you're delivering cigarettes in 10 minutes, but
हाँ.
you can't bring the ambulance to your home in 10 minutes. Like, this
पॉसिबल ही
is,
नहीं है. आप कितना भी मार्केट कर लो विद द ट्रैफिक दैट वी हैव, एंड
yes.
सेकंड आप 10 मिनट कर भी, कॉस्ट आपको पता है कितना लेंगे वो 10 मिनट का. दैट
Hmm.
इज समथिंग यू आर नॉट मार्केटिंग बिकॉज नो वन विल बी
Yes.
एबल टू पे दैट मच. वो तो हम बोल
Yes.
देते कि 10 मिनट में आने के बाद पेमेंट का, बिकॉज दे चार्ज समवेयर फ्रॉम लाइक 10,000 तो 25-30 हजार भी. एम्बुलेंस वालों का तो कोई कुछ नहीं है, वो तो ड्राइवर
Hmm.
जितना बोलेगा. अब आप बंदे को बैठा दोगे एम्बुलेंस 10 मिनट में, आप ही जाए पैसे तो क्या ही मतलब का. तो
Right.
एग्जैक्टली सोल्यूशन आ भी रहा है तो आधा अधूरा आ रहा है, बट उसको उतना अच्छे से मार्केट करते वो इट्स ऑल अबाउट द हाइप कि
Yeah.
नहीं हमने ये कर दिया, हमने ये भी किया, ये भी आ गया, उससे
Mm.
चल जाता है, इन्वेस्टर्स भी खुश हो जाते
Ma'am,
हैं।
now I will kind of take your opinions on very technological
राइट।
interventions that's happening, and one of them is EHR. A lot has been talked about. It's being promoted as a solution to, patient data
राइट।
fragmentation, but we see adoption is still missing. So, what is your views on these platforms, especially in Indian healthcare?
सी आई थिंक इन द स्टार्टिंग ऑल्सो आई सेड कि इंटरनेशनल में डेटा सेट्स है, इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, नन ऑफ द प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल प्लेयर वांट टू गिव दैट ईएचआर और ईएमआर टू द गवर्नमेंट।
Mhm.
आयुष्मान भारत क्यों आया था कि हम सारे डेटा को इकट्ठा करें, उन्होंने तो इंसेंटिव स्कीम भी दे गॉट अ पीएलआई स्कीम दैट इफ यू गिव अस द डेटा यू विल गेट सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ इंसेंटिव्स, बट नो वन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बिकॉज एवरीवन वांट्स टू कीप द डेटा विद देमसेल्फ, बिकॉज पेशेंट डेटा जो है
Yes.
वो नॉर्मल किसी भी डेटा से बहुत ज्यादा आपका ये होता है, बिकॉज यू हैव द फाइनेंशियल डेटा, डेमोग्राफिक्स, पेशेंट का पर्सनल कंडीशन, सब कुछ रहता है, सो दैट्स समथिंग विच इज वेरी वेरी सिक्योर टू शेयर इट विद एनीवन। सबसे बड़ा पॉइंट ये है। दूसरा, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ईएचआर एंड ईएमआर, राइट, डॉक्टर्स प्रिस्क्रिप्शन हैंड रिटन लिखते हैं, को हैंड रिटन को या तो पहले आपको स्कैन करना है, कहीं हॉस्पिटल है जिसने
Yes.
अडॉप्ट किया बट वो स्कैन करना पड़ता है।
Yes.
अब
Yes.
वो बहुत टाइम टेकिंग है, आप हर चीज कितने बार ही कर लो, चलो आपने ओपीडी में कर भी लिया, बट दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल टू इन आईपीडी, यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ पेपर वर्क देयर। तो
Yes.
bringing the medical records to electronic part of it by scanning each and everything, maybe you have missed some documents, there's a high percentage error, or else you bring an entire digital prescription or an entire digital EMR electronic जो रहता है, उसी में आप सब कुछ टाइप करो, अगेन इट विल वर्क इन ओपीडी, बट आईपीडी में इवन इफ इट वर्क्स द प्रोसेस तो हैज टू बी लिंक्ड विद ईच अदर, नर्सेस का जो भी जितने भी वहां पे प्रोसेसेस है,
Yes.
इट ऑल हैज टू बी लिंक्ड विद अदर, एंड कहीं ना कहीं जितने भी अभी मार्केट में ईएचआर ईएमआर, इट्स जस्ट दैट दे हैव अ बेसिक क्वेश्चनियर दैट यू नीड टू फिल, इट गेट्स
Yes.
स्टोर्ड इन एज अ पेशेंट ईएमआर, सो दैट इज व्हाई अडॉप्शन कैसे हो पाएगा, बिकॉज पेशेंट के सारे डिटेल्स आपको मिलेंगे नहीं उसमें, ओपीडी का फिर भी ठीक है, आईपीडी का तो आपको पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। एंड फ्रॉम द पेशेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑल्सो, मेरे पास अभी तक ऐसा कोई भी स्टार्टअप या प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में नहीं है जो मेरे सारे ईएमआर को एनालिसिस करके मुझे एक समरी दे, अगेन आई हैव टू स्कैन एंड अपलोड ईच ऑफ दिस वन बाय वन। मैं डॉक्टर के पास जाके दिखाऊंगी, वो इतने सारे रिपोर्ट्स तो नहीं दिखेगा, राइट? सो I think from the doctors and patient point of it, both, yes, it's a very good initiative that, because sometimes they lose our papers to bringing it to an electronic form. But yes, the process has to be linked with each other. And for the patients and doctors, बहुत थोड़ा सा easy करेंगे तो वो ज़्यादा helpful होगा. And third is, of course, patient data privacy जो है मेंटेन करना भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, बिकॉज एम्स जैसे हॉस्पिटल में जब साइबर सिक्योरिटी हो के उनका
Yes.
डेटा लीक हो सकता है, because getting a cyber security software and firewall, it takes a lot of money, and hospitals don't really invest into that. So if you're bringing a framework, you need to have that sort of compliances and this also in place. So I think that's the major reason before adopting, hospital adopt नहीं करना चाहता because cost है, EMR के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर लेना पड़ेगा, ये tools लेने पड़ेंगे, cyber security डाल, second adaptation by the doctors and the system, and the workforce is also less. And from a patient point of view also, it's not very helpful for them because there's no product in market. I can name several EMR companies that are there. क्या है, आप अपलोड करो मेरे ऐप में और
Yes.
रखो, क्या फायदा होने वाला है मेरा उससे, मैं तो फाइल में भी रख लूंगी वो, इट्स मच मोर। सो यू ब्रिंग अ रियल टाइम सोल्यूशन, अभी आ ही गया, आप एआई से एनालिसिस करके गेट मी अ समरी ऑफ द एंटायर ईएमआर, डॉक्टर के लिए भी हेल्पफुल होगा एंड इट विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर मी आल्सो, सो आई थिंक दिस इज अ चैलेंज दैट इज देयर।
Right. Ma'am, I will also like to touch upon, like, there are a few people, like healthcare experts, who tell that regulations are required, especially for hospitals to make sure that they adopt technology. Otherwise, वो adopt नहीं करेंगे.
नहीं करें।
So, what are your views on this, ma'am? Since you have already run a company where you were kind of, making the hospital adopt digital transformation, what were the challenges that you used to see?
See, first and foremost is the cost of the software, because again, mid-sized hospital and small-sized hospital will not adopt it because that is cost भी है और resources भी लगता है। And second is, whenever you put a digital tool in any healthcare, all the discrepancies can be seen. In any hospitals, if you talk about revenue leakage सारे होते हैं, वो चाहे लैब से है, फार्मेसी से, चाहे पेशेंट से हो। जो ऑडिट्स में आपको भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है, वो
Yes.
नहीं दिखता। बट इफ यू आर ब्रिंगिंग अ डिजिटल टूल इन दिस, it will give you accurate data of each and everything. तो जो
Yes.
revenue leakage के streams है, because
Yes.
this is something I personally worked with when we were working with Smart Hospital, because हम पिच ही ऐसे करते थे कि हम आपका revenue leakage और bounce rate जो है
वो तो
हार्ट से
yes.
ज़्यादा रिसीवर हो जाएगा। दिस इज़ अ वेरी कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी स्टेटमेंट दैट आई एम मेकिंग,
Right.
बट अगेन दिस इज़ समथिंग दैट आई हैव फेस्ड पर्सनली एंड तो दैट आल्सो इज़ व्हाई एडॉप्शन इज़ लेस। तो है ही है, बिकॉज़ नन ऑफ दिस एचआईएमएस कम्स चीप, दैट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम 10 to 20 lakhs एंड आप एचआईएमएस भी आपको प्रॉपर लेना। यू कैन नॉट हैव सम लाइक अ बेसिक एचआईएमएस, दैट विल नॉट वर्क फॉर यू। देन अगेन यू हैव टू गो टू द मैनुअल प्रोसेस। अच्छे एचआईएमएस जो रहते 10-20 लाख से चालू होते हैं। Again, for a mid-size or smaller hospital, plus there is AMC charges to it, there is
Yes.
training cost to it. So they will not invest in such a platform. So it's easier to work how they were already working. Talking about the big hospital, yes, Paras, Max, they have adopted the HIMS, but again, even they have adopted
Yes. Second. Right. Right.
तो
Yes.
मतलब अगेन डॉक्टर का मैंने अपॉइंटमेंट लिया है 3 बजे का, बट मैं वहाँ जाती हूँ तो डॉक्टर अवेलेबल नहीं रहता
Yes.
या कहीं और रहता है, मुझे वेट करना ही पड़ता है। सो द
Mm.
चैलेंजेस दैट वी से दैट वी आर सॉल्विंग विद दिस प्रोडक्ट, मैनुअल जो ये रहता है, वी आर नॉट कंसीडरिंग द अगेन द पेन पॉइंट्स व्हिच आर देयर
Yes.
एक्चुअली आर नॉट बीइंग कंसीडर्ड। बस एक प्रोडक्ट बना दिया एचआईएमएस, दे हैव जस्ट पुट इन द 3-4 प्रोसेसेस, बट
Huh.
जो छोटे छोटे प्रोसेसेस है, इट हैज टू बी एन इंटीग्रेटेड इकोसिस्टम, यू हैव
Yes.
टू फैक्टर इन ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट, तो वो नहीं होता है। तो उसके वजह से फिर ईच एंड आई हैव सीन मेनी बिग हॉस्पिटल्स जो लेके तो आते हैं एंड देन दे सी कि यार इट्स नॉट वर्किंग आउट, लेट्स गो टू द ओल्ड प्रैक्टिसेस बिकॉज दैट्स मच मोर इजियर फॉर देम। So I think that is one we need to make a system, such a ecosystem that actually conveys all the pain points and that, और इसका solution भी बहुत बड़ा नहीं है। There's many easy solutions for this in the market। भी ऐसे startups do, but again startups are bringing a fragmented approach to it।
Yes.
One is saying that I am solving queue management only। सिर्फ queue management डाल, मेरे को एक उसका सॉफ्टवेयर डालने का अलग, कितने सॉफ्टवेयर डालूंगी मैं, कितने बार लॉग इन करूंगी मैं,
और सबको इंटीग्रेट कर
पॉइंट ही नहीं है। चाइमस के साथ मैं उसको लिंक भी करूँगी, तो भी मेरे को
Yes.
बार-बार ये
Right.
मेरा डेटा भी फ्रैगमेंटेड हो विल नॉट, सो अगेन देयर इज़ नो पॉइंट। सो यू हैव टू हैव अ वर्टिकल अप्रोच टू दिस। एक इंटीग्रेटेड इकोसिस्टम नहीं आएगा और वो
Mm.
कोई स्टार्टअप लाए तो भी अगेन इट्स अ वेरी वेरी हाई कॉस्ट प्रोजेक्ट जो
Yes.
कोई इतना पैसा लगाना नहीं चाहता एट दिस टाइम इन
Right.
द मार्केट। आई थिंक दैट्स
That is true, ma'am. इंडिया में सिर्फ डिलीवरी में ही पैसा लगता है. तो 10 minutes delivery. And the next question is, because since you are now into telemedicine platforms, is that how sustainable is to scale tele consultations? And also wanted to understand from the perspective of tier 2, tier 3 cities, ma'am. Like, because
हाँ।
a lot of casualties happen there because of lack of healthcare. How is it helping those areas?
Exactly. So I was gonna start with that one. देखो teleconsultation as such in urban areas won't be so successful or sustainable because we have easy access to healthcare, right? मेरे
Yes.
पास hospital है, doctor है, nursing home है. तो I would rather that I would like to say this, जितना भी टेलीकंसल्टेशन और डॉक्टर का पर्सनल अप्रोच इज वेरी डिफरेंट। मैं खुद डॉक्टर हूँ तो मैं इस चीज पे ये नहीं करूँ। पर्सनल टच अलग होता है और अर्बन में मेरे को पता है कि मैं सामने जाके बात कर सकता हूँ। सो
Hmm.
पीपल यूजुअली प्रेफर दैट। बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट टायर 2 एंड टायर 3 सिटीज, राइट, पे मेरे पास इजी एक्सेस नहीं है, बट मेरे पास अगर प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पे, एंड आई एम टॉकिंग ओनली अबाउट द एमबीबीएस डॉक्टर्स एंड द स्पेशलिस्ट डॉक्टर्स, नॉट द अदर काइंड। जब मेरे पास अच्छा एक्सेस मिल रहा है टू वेल एजुकेटेड डॉक्टर्स, आई
Yes.
कैन टॉक टू देम और मेरे को जल्दी मिल भी रहा है सोल्यूशन। ऑल्दो फॉर एग्जांपल देखो टेली कंसल्टेशन में यू कांट ट्रीट इमरजेंसी, यू कांट ट्रीट कैजुअलिटी, बट इफ अ पेशेंट इज कमिंग विद द चेस्ट पेन, आई कैन गाइड हिम दैट अभी के लिए आप ये मेडिसिन ले लो ताकि उसकी आपकी ड्यूरेशन कम हो जाए, कंसिस्टेंसी कम हो जाए, you
Hmm.
have time until you reach the hospital, and that's how I'm
Yes.
saving a patient, right? That goes into different case scenario. So in such cases it's really really helpful। and even urban में भी मैं बोलूँ कि अगर मैं रात को 2 बजे मेरे को कोई इशू हो रहा है, मैं घर बैठे-बैठे हॉस्पिटल जाने तक का टाइम नहीं है। तुरंत मैं अगर टेली कंसल्टेशन अभी 24/7 आपको हर प्लेटफ़ॉर्म में मिल जाते हैं, डॉक्टर्स तुरंत आ जाते हैं। बच्चों के लिए स्पेशली फॉर किड्स वी गेट पैनिक्ड अ लॉट, थोड़ा-सा भी
Yes.
बुखार होता है। तो आई थिंक इन सच अ वे टेली कंसल्टेशन हैज़ गिवन अस वेरी गुड एक्सेस विद द डॉक्टर्स। हाँ, उसमें क्या हो रहा है कहीं-कहीं छोटे-छोटे चीज़ के लिए भी पेशेंट तो वो थोड़ा-सा ड्रॉबैक भी है कि कुछ भी नहीं भी होता है, तो भी वो कॉल करते हैं बट हाँ, एक्टिव की मैं अगर बात करूँ तो ये काफ़ी हेल्पफुल रहा एंड टायर 2 टायर 3 सिटीज़ के गोइंग इनटू द रूरल एरियाज़ कि वहाँ पे कोई भी ये नहीं है। टायर 3 में आपको तो हॉस्पिटल्स में रूरल एरियाज़ में सीएचसी सेंटर को
Yes.
आपका हाल पता ही है इंडिया का क्या होता है, यू डोंट गेट डॉक्टर्स। सो दिस हैज़ बीन अ ब्लेसिंग फॉर सच पीपल कि रूरल एरियाज़ के क्लिनिक है वहाँ पे और 24/7 आप डॉक्टर को कॉल कर लो, आप वहाँ पे क्लिनिक पे जाके दिखा लो मेडिसिन्स। तो दैट हैज़ बीन माय बूम बिकॉज़ यू आर गेटिंग एजुकेटेड तो वो आपको गाइड और ऐसा नहीं है पूरा सुनते आपको गाइड कर रहे हैं कि क्या करना है एंड दे इवन रेफर यू टू द नियर बाय पीएचसी, सीएचसी सेंटर्स के लिए दिखाना है। उनको तो कुछ पता ही नहीं होता अगर मेरे पास टीबी का पेशेंट आ रहा है। आई विल टेल देम दैट दिस इज़ योर नियर बाय टीबी सेंटर, गो देयर,
Yeah.
एड्स है तो इसके लिए जाओ। सो ऑल्सो जो सोशियो इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस है,
हाँ.
फार्मर्स है, आपके डिफरेंट लेबर्स है, उनके स्पेसिफिक डिजीज़ रहते हैं, जो आपको
Yes.
पता है, जो बाकी एरिया में नहीं मिलेंगे। उसके लिए डिफरेंट अप्रोच चाहिए एंड सबसे मेन लैंग्वेज। आपका टेली कंसल्टेशन में रूरल एरियाज़ और टायर 2, टायर 3 सिटीज़ को लैंग्वेज वाइज़ डॉक्टर्स
Yes.
जो आई थिंक आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा। दैट इज़ वेरी हेल्पफुल देन। कभी भी रात को कॉल कर अपने लैंग्वेज में डॉक्टर मिल रहे हैं, जो आपको कहीं नहीं मिले। आई थिंक लैंग्वेज हो गया, ईज़ी कनेक्ट हो गया। थर्ड दे अंडरस्टैंड द बिकॉज़ हर एरिया का अलग-अलग डिज़ीज़ रहेगा। मैं दिल्ली की बात मानसून है अभी तो यहाँ पे डेंगू ज़्यादा है, राइट? मलेरिया होगा। रूरल एरियाज़ में आप कभी भी देख लो लेबर्स जो रहते हैं स्किन डिज़ीज़ेज़ काफ़ी रहते हैं अनहाइजीनिक कंडीशंस की वजह से। फिर अगर मैं वुमन की मैटरनल के काफ़ी इश्यूज़ रहते हैं। प्रेगनेंसी का उनको तो कभी प्रीनेटल, पोस्टनेटल विटामिन्स ये तो बताते हैं कि आपको ये लेना है, वो आके चेक तो करते हैं। कॉस्ट भी काफ़ी कम है। बिकॉज़ मेनी ऑफ द प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स जो भी आ रहे हैं टेली कंसल्टेशन, कॉस्ट भी बहुत मिनिमल एंड दैट इज़ एक्चुअली वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर देम। वो नर्सिंग होम में भी जाएँगे डॉक्टर मिनिमम 400-500 तो आप ले तो यहाँ पे उनको कॉस्ट भी का तो आई थिंक for the rural areas and tier 3 city it's been very helpful for
Hmm.
tier 2 city because abhi kafi hospitals if you see are coming in there also.
Yes.
But yes, for emergency at night and when you don't have, when you're a rush or anything, be it urban or tier 2 cities, I think teleconsultation is a very helpful tool for you to connect with the doctors and get good advice as एंड मेडिसिन का तो अर्बन में है ही, इतने सारे फार्मा को 1 एमजी रात को कर लो, सुबह कर लो, 30 मिनट में मेडिसिन आ ही जाता है तो
Yes.
मैंने तो स्विगी
But there's one problem which we usually hear is of counterfeit drugs. Like, a lot of mal things basically happen in this space. How can pharma companies, is there a technology which can help them make sure that there is no counterfeit drugs are being circulated on their names?
Yes, see, there's a very easy solution, I think, which Banca and farmers already. There's a QR code which is there and it contains a particular set of number आप स्कैन करो तो हर एक कंपनी के पास अपना ओन टूल रहता है तो you don't have to bring a technology part of it. It's as simple as putting a particular
QR code. Yeah.
sticker into this and again उसमें ना there are different accreditation जैसे quality check का Q. So you have all those stickers and all those things written on the back of the drug. If
Yes.
you look at any generic drug, so again एक misconception मैं clear करना चाहती हूँ सबको ये लगता है कि हम डॉक्टर रहते हैं हम ब्रांडेड मेडिसिन लिखते हैं
Hmm.
because it's costly. Understand कि generic yes it's usually effective. The major difference between a generic and branded is the quantity of the medicine जो API करके बोलते हैं active formulation जो होता है
Hmm.
ड्रग में समवेयर फ्रॉम 50 to 80%, 90% होता है बाकी सॉल्व्स रहते हैं जेनरिक में एक्टिव फॉर्मुलेशन आपका कम रहता है बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स उनके लिए कॉस्ट एंड वो सब रहता है एंड क्वालिटी चेक मिनिमल रहता है उसमें
Right.
बट दिस ब्रांडेड दे एक्चुअली स्पेंड ऑन द क्वालिटी चेक्स एक्चुअली स्पेंड ऑन द ट्रायल्स रिसर्च ये सब करके ही वो लाते हैं इसलिए दैट्स अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन ब्रांडेड एंड जेनरिक तो ब्रांडेड मेडिसिन के पीछे आपको क्यूआर कोड मिल जाएगा उसका विच यू कैन स्कैन एंड यू कैन सी द ऑथेंटिसिटी ऑफ ड्रग यू हैव डिफरेंट क्यूसीआई एंड ऑल द सिंबल्स विच यू कैन चेक एंड सबसे मेन आपको बैच नंबर वो सब कुछ मिल जाएगा एंड I think the patient doesn't know this, but if you are having any kind of reaction to any kind of drug, you can report it and you can get complete details on the batch number of the drug, when was it produced, and everything on it. And the pharma company has to revert back to you and do a complete check कि ये क्यों हुआ है, कितने पेशेंट्स को हुआ है, और आपको सोल्यूशन भी देना होता है, जो कि नहीं पता है इंडिया को। बट ये ऐसा रहता है कि इट हैज़ टू बी राउटेड थ्रू योर डॉक्टर, सो यू कैन नॉट गो डायरेक्टली। सो मेरे डॉक्टर ने अगर मेरे को कुछ प्रिस्क्राइब किया, आई हैव टू गो एंड रिपोर्ट टू द डॉक्टर कि आपने ये मेडिसिन किया है। दे हैव अ फॉर्म, फार्माकोविजिलेंस का एक फॉर्म आता है, वो
Yes.
भर के उनको वो फार्मा कंपनी में देन दे सबमिट इट टू द फर्दर प्रोसेस एंड इट हैज टू बी क्लोज्ड। ये पूरा साइकिल है वो क्लोज होना, बट वो होता नहीं है। सो दिस इज अ वेरी गुड वे फॉर अ कॉमन पीपल टू अंडरस्टैंड तो कि ब्रांडेड और जेनरिक, बिकॉज सबको यही है कि जेनरिक है तो कॉस्ट है, कॉस्ट है, कॉस्ट है करके। I would not name a startup that has come recently deals with generic itself. ऐसा नहीं है कि देखो क्वालिटी चेक दे पास, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो नहीं पास करते। एक स्टैंडर्ड रहता है कि इतना परसेंट आपका मिनिमम रहना चाहिए, दे पास दैट्स व्हाई दे आर इन द मार्केट। बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द efficiency of the drug, of course, you know, something which has an active formulation in a higher quantity will of course work for you better. So of course the choice is yours कि आपको ये करना है, but ये misconception जो है market में, I think that needed to be cleared.
Absolutely great, ma'am. I think we touched upon a lot of things, right, from pharma to medical devices to healthcare space, and must say that you have explained it very succinctly in very layman terms that anybody will understand. And I hope that this podcast is going to be extremely insightful for all the medical leaders, directors, and COOs of various hospitals who will be watching it. Thank you so much,
I
ma'am.
made several comments as well. Please take everything positively, whoever is
Everything has been
listening to it.
positive, ma'am. Like, we all want the healthcare system to improve.
Exactly. The end goal is that, you know, everyone wants to work towards
And
efficiency
ma'am, you know
and
what? I
patient.
have seen a lot of doctors like who are working on ground. So they have left their high-paying jobs. They have gone to villages. They are working very on ground, but there is a lack of support system in this country
Exactly.
where they're not supported.
See, doctor as a founder in a health tech domain or a digital health care, उनको लगता है कि आप डॉक्टर हो, एक तो या आपके नाम के आगे या तो एमबीए होना चाहिए। एमबीए का कोई, आई एम सॉरी टू से दिस, बट ऐसा नहीं है यार, एमबीए के बिना आप सीख नहीं सकते हो।
Absolutely, ma'am.
यू
Absolutely.
कैन लर्न बिकॉज इफ यू आर वर्किंग विद द इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स, आप जाके बिजनेस टीम के साथ बैठ के उनकी बातें
Yes.
समझो। गूगल है, चैट जीपीटी, आप फ्री कोर्सेज है, यू कैन लर्न एवरीथिंग दैट इज देयर, तो दैट्स नॉट देयर। बट सबका ये मिसकंसेप्शन है कि डॉक्टर है, क्लिनिकल है, उनको और कुछ आता नहीं है। सो इवन व्हेन दे गो एंड ट्राई टू सॉल्व एनी प्रॉब्लम, देयर आर सो मेनी एप्रीहेंशंस from the
Yes.
and not only from the other people, from the industry leaders itself, that you know you're so young old का बहुत चलता है डॉक्टर।
Doctors में बहुत है.
हाँ, कि तुमको तो कुछ
Yes.
आता नहीं है, हम तो इतने एक्सपीरियंस्ड है, तो
Yes.
ग्रे हेयर सिंड्रोम जिसे बोलते हैं, तो दैट इटसेल्फ एक हैसल हो जाता है। जब हम जाके एक्सप्लेन भी करेंगे तो लाइक तुमको क्या ही पता है, तुम बहुत ओवर स्मार्ट बन रहे हो। तो ये
Yes.
एक आ जाता है। दूसरा कि आपको क्लिनिकल छोड़ के और कुछ नहीं आता। रियल टाइम करते भी है तो आप अकेले कर नहीं पाओगे, आपको टीम चाहिए रहती है, व्हिच इज़ अ मिक्स ऑफ
Right.
डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स। उनको जब हम समझाने जाते हैं, उनके लिए the numbers matter because they work on the
Yes.
numbers. So to integrate the numbers factor and the clinical factor together and कुछ ऐसा करे जो patient को help करे, ऐसा you know is a very big thing. But yes, I think many good people are doing it. There are many doctors. I know a pediatric surgeon who went into digital health tech.
Yes.
आपने सुना भी होगा, मैं नाम भूल गई उसका, Sugar Fit.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's a sugar management platform. It's run by a pediatric surgeon. He completely left his practice. Now it's a billion-dollar company helping so many
Yes.
patients. He has succeeded. And there's so many doctors who are now taking the leap of faith and, you know, and going into the sector. Because again, doctors, there are many more career pathways that can be explored. Stay in touch with your clinic. I still consult patients because that is our passion. वो तो छूटा नहीं जाएगा. But do something that makes a difference. And technology अभी इतना है evolving कि you can actually, you know, integrate to bring a positive difference in a patient care eventually.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this insightful discussion.
Yeah,
We'll be in
thanks.
touch and we'll love to host you again on different set
Sure,
of
sure.
topics.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Bye. Take care.